Canada has incredible places to explore, but did you know that before the pandemic, Indigenous tourism was the fastest growing travel sector in Canada?
I did not know that. Did you guys know that? I did not know that. But here to tell us about the current state of Indigenous tourism in this country and share some exciting experiences that you'll want to put on your bucket list is the president and CEO of the Indigenous Tourism Association of Canada, Keith Henry. Welcome to the show.
Welcome, Keith. We're excited.
Yeah. Welcome. Well, these stats are astounding. So according to your organization, 1 in 3 international visitors to Canada and more than half of domestic travelers within our country are looking for an Indigenous destination. So what sets apart Indigenous travel experiences from, say, let's say, other experiences?
Yeah, I think Canada is an amazing country, but what we haven't really done a really great job is understanding the history and stories of what we have. Ancient culture here, and we think of ancient often as Egypt or other, romantic international destinations, but we have it right here in our backyards. And so a lot of people are coming to realize that Canada is this amazing destination, and they're looking at us in a different way, both domestically and internationally. I think that's really becoming much more attractive for the world.
I mean, we heard the shock off the top when we mentioned about how before the pandemic, the Indigenous tourism was the fastest growing travel sector in Canada. So let's talk about the impact that the pandemic had on this sector. Yeah,
it was quite, I've been doing this for 19 years now, helping market and promote Indigenous tourism. And 2019 was our best year ever, just about $2 billion in revenues for Indigenous tourism. Good. Big business, 1,900 businesses, about 40,000, mostly Indigenous people working in the sector. And overnight, it really, we were the hardest of the hard hit. And so it was quite devastating from 2020 to about 2022 or so. But the fortunate news is today it's coming back. And because of things that have happened over the last few years, I actually see higher demand than I saw in 2019. So we know the realm of the possibility is still a lot more in front of us.
That's fantastic. All right, well, the industry leaders say that Canada has the potential to be a global leader in Indigenous tourism, but despite the recent federal investments, there's still a lack of support, which is huge. So what needs to be done so that they can get the support that they need?
Well, like any business, right? And I know that there's a lot of emotion and sort of social support for Indigenous issues. I know that in Canada. I'm an Indigenous person myself. We live it. But I really think that it's like anything. If we want business to grow, we have to invest in marketing and development, and it's got to be predictable, sustainable. And often Indigenous programming, it starts, it stops, it goes away. It starts, it stops, it goes away. In our world on Indigenous economic development, I've seen that for many, many years. And so we're trying to put strategies out and have the entire industry and governments at all levels, federal, provincial, municipal, they all need to understand that these investments will actually help them as well. And so I think we have to get people to understand that narrative.
So why is it important for funding to level the playing field between Indigenous and non-Indigenous sort of travel businesses?
Well, like anything, right here, we're in Toronto today, there's marketing dollars to promote Toronto.
Yeah.
Well, we don't have the same level of tools to market Indigenous tourism. We depend on others that might want to help us out to market us. And what we're saying, it needs to be Indigenous-led. We know the tools, we know the brands, we know how to market authentic experiences. That's the whole point of what differentiates us. And I think that having the industry and partners understand that's really important.
Well, I don't know about you, but I want to learn about some of these amazing Indigenous destinations, don't you? I cannot wait. The first one you're going to take us to is in British Columbia. So tell us about it.
Yeah, it's a beautiful wilderness resort, Klahoose Wilderness Resort. It opened up in 2021. It's a luxury style resort. It's absolutely breathtaking. It's a 5-star experience. And what they've done is repurpose an existing sort of business that the community bought. They're now hiring Klahoose guides. These are things that are helping promote Klahoose artists. And these are the things that, it's whale watching, and yes, it's outdoor adventure and sightseeing, but you add the Indigenous storytelling about the lands and the water there, and it really adds a special element to that experience.
Beautiful. Love it.
Wow.
Beautiful. Okay, we're going to head to Alberta next. So what should we do there?
Well, one I really appreciate is Mohican Trails. It's in Canmore. And what it is, it's a guided walking tour. And I'm trying to show you the breadth and depth of, I showed you a wilderness resort. Now this is an outdoor adventure walking tour. You learn about the medicinal plants, how the Indigenous people lived on the land. These are guided tours to help educate and provide that awareness. And a lot of people wonder, how did Indigenous people survive? they teach it if you want it. And these are the way, when we talk about reconciliation, these are the things, if you truly want, there are experiences that will actually guide you to those learnings.
Oh, wow. So what was the name of that place that we were just...
Mohican Trails.
Okay, Mohican Trails. And you can do that all year round?
All year round.
Okay, that's so fascinating. Because I imagine you would learn different things.
Absolutely.
Depending on the season that you
That's
go.
amazing.
That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Great.
incredible. Oh, sorry, we had time to talk about one more travel option, and it is right here in Ontario. Tell us about it.
Yeah, Wikwamacoun Tourism. It's about 6 hours north or so here in Toronto. Sorry, not in Toronto, out of Toronto. And but it's they've been doing tourism for a while in the community, but they've added some more Indigenous culinary experiences. And, you know, that when any of us travel, we love to get out and eat. They have Anishinaabe guides, the Bambabake Memorial Trail. They take you out, you forage for food, and you actually. So you learn how to cook it traditionally, whether it's stone-cooked venison, or they might do trout traditionally with the cedar plank, or they wrap it. So I mean, these are all kind of Indigenous culinary experiences that is truly world-class.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
incredible.
Every single place you've mentioned is now on my bucket list of places that I need to go and see. And for anybody who's looking for more information and wants an authentic tour, where should they start?
You know, the platform I would encourage everyone is our main consumer platform, destinationindigenous.ca. You'll see hundreds of businesses like this in every province and territory, the north, the east, the west, the south. And these are authentic Indigenous-owned experiences that are really promoting Canada in an amazing way.
Beautiful.
I love that.
Oh, it is amazing. I want to say I've actually used your website and I've traveled based on your website. So it is the real deal. So thank you for everything you're doing as well. Thank you.